G'day YouTube and everyone out there. So I haven't done a video for a while, so what's up to my brothers and sisters, and go fuck yourself to you whining fucking trolls. Alright, so I started to break down different areas of the consciousness. So I'll start with how the actual communication of consciousness is made with the human and the spiritual anatomy, right? So what it is that we ourselves as humans have energy fields around us, which is our singularity, which creates not just us, but it creates a physical reality around us. And the spiritual anatomy, or the kundalini and the chakra points, are the energy vortexes that produce the understandings of what we call emotions. So the different frequencies of energies manifest into the consciousness through your actual spiritual avatar, which then your thought initiative program, which is the consciousness programming of the collective, overwhelming result of how many singularities can put it into the collective to change the physical reality of the desired outcome, is how reality is actually made through the consciousness. So that's what we are ourselves. Each of us have a invisible electromagnetic connection, like a cable cord, but it's invisible from the outside realm, where we are the pure source of the electromagnetic beings, or we call it heaven, or whatever you want. And we have our cable running through to us inside here, which is the giant brain. And from the giant brain, then a tether is tethered to each of us, so each player outside can jump in and experience their own avatar. But in reality, the giant brain, consciousness, electromagnetic energy, is all created by us from the outside. That is why you have to get in contact with your inner self. Alright, so that's the understanding of what the consciousness is, right? So consciousness is everything. You are part of consciousness, I'm part of consciousness. The one is everything, everything that you can think of in existence and out of existence in quantum reality is consciousness. And sorry. So you have that is the actual understanding of what consciousness is. Consciousness directs everything in the physical. Nothing was ever made in the physical without consciousness's design. So every single thing that you see inside of this matrix hologram by vibrational patterns is nothing but hints from consciousness. So you have to open your eyes and be aware of what is the greatest trends at the moment. What is the main information inside of the matrix that is trying to be programmed to you? And at the moment you have the Mandela effect and everything like that, which has proven that there is parallel realities and that quantum reality is in existence. And the whole meaning of behind it is consciousness is trying to reawaken us up once again to that we are infinite, eternal electromagnetic beings of pure love on the outside. But this was our game realm that we needed to come into and create into a game structure design. But because we are so filled with no sin, love, pure divinity of unconditional divine love when we're on the outside, we come into here and we didn't lose that. Hey, we can't do what we want in here, because out there we're used to always just loving. So we can't experience any other kind of emotional frequency of energy or feeling or experience outside of that. So we created this for us to come in and to experience what we couldn't on the outside ever. But the problem is, as we come into at the beginning of it, we actually did understand that we were playing a game. We used to have the red and the blue teams fight each other. We used to have the gladiator rings. We used to have, basically, the ancients knew that they were logging in and they were coming to play a game. They wanted to have the experience of whatever experience they wanted, whether they wanted to be a spectator on the game or whatever. But then they knew that they'd log out. But over time, we actually forgot our consciousness energy, actually started to blank ourselves. So we have a reminiscence of it, like you have the reincarnation ideology and everything like that that's still into modern day society, that indicates that we had the pre-knowledge of what I'm saying, but we lost it as each time that we went and left the world and we go into our next game or next reality. We'd actually be blanked as consciousness. So we would start off when we're little, we'd come into the world when about 3 weeks into the the avatars that's being created in the womb, and we would remember everything, but by the time that the programming and everything and the DNA and everything of what this reality was at the time has indoctrinated you to get rid of everything that you understood before you popped out, then the only thing you understood when you come out really is that you're here to have fun. And then you forgot that you're an electromagnetic spiritual being and who you really are at the whole grasp of the beginning of reality, not what you are when you went into the reality. And this is what consciousness over time had done to itself. Now, to myself, I believe that it was a test. I believe that it was time to try to wake everyone up to see and come to the conclusion of what consciousness wants is people to break through to the understanding of what they see with their own visual eyes is not real, and what they feel is not real. Because what is the greatest test? To understand that everything that you're experiencing is not really there. That is the hardest grasp of the whole understanding of this consciousness matrix that there is. And the fact that now consciousness itself has started to talk to us and actually communicate through synchronicities all the time. The Mandela effect is nothing but a blatant move by consciousness to try to make the children of or the sons of God remember that we are nothing but eternal existence, and we shouldn't worry about our physical avatar because all sons of God are forgiven for all eternal sins, and we are all sons of God, which is that electromagnetic light energy. There's a good reference that someone said, like I was saying, the afterlife, and in the afterlife, actually, what it is there's pearly gates and there's stuff like that. There's a gold road, but the actual cycles there are day and night, at night. So as it says, like earth shall be as it is in heaven or whatever like that, they are following it down to a T. So this vibrational creation of this vibrational creation of this matrix is exactly in accordance to what it is in heaven. So all it is that we in here are running around thinking that the physical is the only existence and that the physical is the only that can be done. But in reality, the whole lesson of being in here is to understand that nothing is physical and everything is spiritual, as everything is made from electromagnetic energy, which is basically the blueprint understanding of the shapes and the stature of what the construct will be as the polygons. And then after the vibrational frequencies like the somatics and the human resonance frequency, etc., and the endocrine system field energies and that, we actually then have that texture overlay, which is really just a trick on the eyes and the conscious mind, as the subconscious to the superconscious always know that this reality is nothing but a construct and it is fake as hell. But we, as our conscious mind, see it as nothing but physical. We walk around, we build shit, we do shit. We actually think that we got to do everything through the physical when everything can actually be done through the spiritual or the ethereal, or just manifested into the physical reality by the collective consciousness's thought initiative program as the one overriding consciousness program at the time that can manifest the physical reality in the direction of the desired. So that's what consciousness does for that. As I explained plenty of times in my chessboard game video, the whole idea of what's happening in the consciousness collective right now is all game structure. You have reptilian aliens, which I have to mention, there is no such thing as fucking extraterrestrials, they're only interdimensionals, and what the extraterrestrials are the thought initiative program of the collective manifesting it into the physical reality. You can go back to when you look back in the day, there was these metal fucking ships flying around and shit like that. So that was the collective way back in the ancient pictures, right? So they actually knew that something was happening from the outside, or there were creators that would come in, etc. like that. But they're interdimensional, as there is no outer space. There's only infinite parallel realities of Earth and the water, which water is just time and space, or whatever you want to call it, multiple parallel dimensions set to the original dimension of that alpha dimension of that Earth, all it is basically trillions of string theories and quantum theories mixed into one, which is just quantum entanglement of the whole Earth and shit, but set into its own parallel reality. After that, what's happened now is the Mandela effect has just been moving the frequency of energy that manifests each consciousness collective into the next. So that's what that is and shit. So I hope this gives a bit more insight. I'll bring out another video sooner or later. So we have an understanding of what the consciousness is. Consciousness is God. You can look at it any way you want. Any deity that's ever been worshipped in the reality has always been the one consciousness. Consciousness is good and bad. There is a negative and a positive charge to all of it. So at one stage, people have to experience the negative, and you have to experience the positive. Otherwise, there just wouldn't be the whole. And this is the understanding of what reality really has to fucking come to get the grasp of. We can't keep splitting and keeping diversity between the one God. As I explained to many people, you have the Satanists and stuff like that at the moment worshipping the dark side, the negative consciousness energy, and ignoring the light side. And then you have the Christians, which are worshipping the light side and ignoring the dark side, when both needed to actually control and look at everything as the one and give it the praise and well, if they're going to praise it or whatever, because consciousness doesn't really give a fuck what we do if we praise it or whatever. I'll tell you that right now. It does want us to get in contact with it so we can understand that we are the spiritual anatomies driving around these bodies, but that's about it. As far as judgment, sin, all of this is just man's creation from inside of the matrix. There's been the Bible has been changed over and over and over again with different interpretations, which everyone knows, which all created for the three Abrahamic religions, which are all the same, but yet in reality, the Muslims are fighting the fucking Christians and everything like that, but it's just stupid because it comes from the same God. Everything is just consciousness, and there is no judgment. So everyone that says, like, well, there has to be a judgment, well, that's because you believe that there has to be a judgment. In reality, what you believe through your conscious mind is what you're going to put into your subconscious, and you're going to program yourself to believe and be indoctrinated into your own system of belief system. So if you keep yourself stuck in that, you're never ever going to see outside of what really exists, because all you'll be doing is running around in the own box that you created for yourself that you can't get outside of, just because the governor, which is the basic energy between the understanding of that this is a physical matrix and it's a spiritual matrix, will jump in and try to tell you, hey, it's always a physical fucking matrix. Don't worry about the spiritual side, because the governor hates you trying to figure out that everything out there is electromagnetic frequencies of energy. And when the governor will come along and say, well, guess what? You think you're outside the world. You think that you're now floating outside and you can see the world just as it always said for Christ and everything like that. Well, now you're going to have another fucking test that will be thrown in front of your face that will try to bring you back into the matrix to try to ground you again, because the energies of the physical and the spiritual fight each other constantly to keep us either brainwashed and sitting inside of the matrix game, or to be enlightened and become divine knowing and understand that we are nothing but spiritual energy beings outside on a chessboard, which we are creating, standing on with the male and the female, and creating through negative and positive energy one giant ball of consciousness above it, and through that we are using that electromagnetic energy and that self-aware energy, and we are controlling ourselves inside of this world or this game structure level design, just like as if you were playing a game like, what's the old thing that everyone should be accompanied to, like something like SimCity or Populous or something like that, where you control your own individual character, but you control every single one of the own individual characters on the whole board, and you are just playing God. That is exactly why consciousness has added that understanding into this game, just like when there's a game of life and everything like that. Consciousness has been relaying for a very fucking long time that we are just in a game and that we have to wake up and understand that it's a game, because the fact that we don't understand that it's a game has brought so many people to misery, has brought depression, has brought anxiety, has changed the world to a frequency that consciousness does not desire. And the whole reason that we have now this whole awakening system going on is because the One itself has got fed up of just seeing us run around like chickens with their heads cut off, not understanding that physical reality is not all there is, and that we have a smorgasbord selection of different desired experiences out there that consciousness itself wants us to experience once we have logged out once again. Alright, cheers brothers and sisters. I hope this helped with a bit more insight, and I'll bring some more out in the future like I said. Alright, peace.